First shot coming up. Maishanique Ladd hits. No, rolls in and out. I'm sorry. Utah State with the board. Emmy Harris kicks it over. Right corner, 3 up. Olivia West in and out. Mason tries to poke it back, but it's going to be Hafoka coming away with it. Into the front court. Here's Turney. Turney almost stolen away by Olivia West. Players on the ground. That's going to be a jump ball. Really quick whistles tonight on the jump ball. That was still rolling around on the ground when the thumbs went up, but it's going to stay San Jose State ball. Olivia West, a good job to get in there and wrestle it away and force the jump, if nothing else. So baseline inbound coming. Here's Turney up to Ladd. Ladd 18 on the shot clock. Passes it up, gets it to Turney. Turney kicks it over, left corner. Ladd now 10 on the shot clock. San Jose State using a little more than we've seen. Hafoka gives it over. Turney shoots, hits the front of the rim, and the rebound to Shannon Duffesey, who now has 10 rebounds in just this half. 6 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. What a stat line there for Shannon Duffesey. We might be on triple-double watch right now. Here's Emmy Harris, pass up top to Jessie Gear over to the right wing for Olivia. Olivia back down to Duffesey. Duffesey going to work over, put it off the glass. This time no good as it rolls in and out. Rebound by Ladd. Ladd flying back the other way. Goes at the basket, attacks, in and out, grabs her own board, and right back up. She hits. And Maishanique Ladd now 11 points. 1 away from the 1,000-point mark on her career. 6 rebounds as well for the senior leader of this team. Emmy Harris shoots from just inside the 3-point line, and no good in the rebound by Hafoka. Hafoka pushing it back. Stopped by Harris. Pass up top to Turney. Turney down, gets it to Lewis. Lewis backing around, stuffed by Deja Mason. Nice block there by Utah State's all-time leading blocker. Pass over to left corner, 3 up. Ladd can't hit. Rebound fought for. Olivia West comes down with it. Throws it away, though. Should have just waited for the jump ball to be forced. It would have stayed Utah State ball. Instead, San Jose State comes away with it. 3 up from the right corner. Turney can't hit. And Olivia West this time comes out with the ball. Aggies lead 39-25. We've got 35 seconds left in the quarter. About 12 seconds between shot and game clock. Olivia going to try and drop. Stuffed. What a block there via Maya Hafoka. Big time block. Quick 3 in transition. Anderson knocks it down. Big finish to the half here for San Jose State. Bringing it back within 11, 39-28. Aggies haven't scored in about 3 minutes. 8 seconds to go. Emmy has it. Harris uses a screen from Duffesey. She's going to try and drive off of it. Goes up to the left. She's blocked. But they're going to call a foul. There were 2 players there, Hafoka and Lewis, and they're going to say that the foul goes. I think they're going to credit that on Hafoka. So Harris going to the line for a couple. 2.8 seconds left in the half, and Harris can't hit the first. So that foul, I was correct. It's Hafoka, so she picks up her second. Aggies lead 39-28, 2.8 seconds left. So make it or miss it. There will be one last potential for a shot. Harris hits the second to put Utah State up by 12. Spartans will inbound with just under 3 seconds to go. Aggies, 3 players in the backcourt to defend. Inbound goes to Ladd. Ladd going to try, bring it into the front court, puts up a shot, this time well after the buzzer, didn't hit anyway. And that's how the quarter will end. After one half, Utah State up 40-28. Didn't end on the greatest note there in the first half, kind of let a little bit of a lead slip away, but still lead by 14 at halftime, and that's something you can certainly never complain about if you're a Utah State fan. Aggies outscored the Spartans 21-11 in the first quarter, 19-17 in the second quarter, so much more competitive there in the second. If you're a Spartan fan, there's still plenty of reason to be hopeful because Utah State, in situations like this, have come out pretty flat in the second half. We saw against, just a couple of days ago against Air Force, Utah State, I mentioned it a couple of times, they led by 14 at half. Well, if they lead by 14 at half, I'm sorry, they lead by 12 at half right now. They led by 14.5 in that one. That slipped right away. Almost went into overtime and took a buzzer beater at the end of the game to keep it alive. So you never know. Anyway, let's look at some final numbers before we head into the halftime break. For Utah State, Haley Bassett had 8 points, 3 of 4 shooting, and a couple of rebounds. Rachel Brewster, 8 points. Olivia West, 8 points. Brewster also with 5 rebounds and an assist. The most impressive stat line by far, though, Shannon Delphusy, 6 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in a half. I mentioned triple-double watch earlier, but that's I mean, we're on the definition of it. 6 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Can't wait to see what the second half brings for her. Anyway, Utah State leading 40-28 at halftime. We'll cut out and be back in just a few minutes with the second half of action from here at the Spectrum. Thanks for tuning into Utah State Women's Hoops here on Aggie Radio, AggieRadio.com, and the Mountain West Network. All right, welcome back to the Dee Glen Smith Spectrum. After half, it's Utah State 40-28 up against the San Jose State Spartans. Good start for Utah State in this one. Of course, you know, I've said it a few times, but Utah State not a stranger to leading at halftime, but they've also not been very great coming out of the halftime break. And we've seen several times they've watched big leads slip away. The most recently of which just a couple days ago. Utah State, though, we'll see how they come out. The first few minutes of this second half should be pretty telling. Utah State in the first half, solid showing really on both ends of the court. I mean, you lead by 12, there's not a ton of criticism to be had, but they shot 40%, held San Jose State to 33%. And I mean, really seems like just about every player on the Aggies that has hit the court has done their fair share of damage. And really just a pretty solid team effort overall. Utah State this season, when they lead at halftime, they've been 6-4. When they trail at halftime, 0-16. So you can see the importance there of Utah State getting out to an early lead. And they make about 7.9 game tonight, 3 of 15. So you can see they've taken far more than usual, but they've hit about the same rate. So, I'm sorry, they're actually, I was reading the wrong line. They're 20% from 3 tonight, so below their average, 33% from the field. So Aggie defense has to be feeling pretty good about where they sit so far. Tonight, I've mentioned it, if you listen to the pregame show, I really emphasize this point quite a bit. This is such an important game as far as Mountain West Conference standings go. Taking a look around the league, you've got a couple of games half, and they put one up quickly. Here's Mason. Mason tries to pass it down to Duffy. He's poked, but Duffy comes away with it and lays it in. Aggies go up 45-28. Left corner three, though. Back the other way. Marquez quickly knocks it down. Just the fourth three-pointer of the night for a very good three-point shooting team. San Jose State brings it back to a 14-point game. Here's Eliza. She's going to drive, get up towards the block, put one up with the lefty, and the left hook is good. San Jose State pushes it through the press, gets it in the front court quickly. Right wing, here's Anderson. Anderson up top for three, missed by Marquez. Liza pushing it back. Stops, starts to back out. Good defense there by Marquez. Gives up to Olivia, who just lays it in. This San Jose State defense really struggling against a Utah State offense that isn't exactly what you would call explosive throughout the season. Aggies, again, only averaging 57.9. That's one of the lowest points per game averages in the nation. Quick three for San Jose State. Anderson hits one from the corner to make the score 49-34. 7:27 to go here in the third. So up top, here's Eliza West. She passes it on the free throw line for Duffy over to the corner for Olivia. Olivia gets in, puts up a wild shot, falling forward, didn't hit anything. Mason comes down with the board, and then a jump ball called. After that, will go to San Jose State. So 49-34, 7:09 here in the third. Coach Finkbeiner trying to get his team fired up, asking him for a little bit of energy here. Aggies defensively haven't been quite as good this second half. As I say that, working the baseline is Michaela Wilson. Wilson, nice little move to get up and earn a couple for the Spartans. 13-point game. Here's Eliza. Eliza with 4 points, 4 assists tonight. She passes to Duffy. Duffy down low to Bassett. Bassett turning around, puts up a hook shot. Had a hand in the face. Hand maybe on the face. That's what she wanted, but the rebound goes to the Spartans. Marquez came away with it. Right wing, here's Anderson. Anderson down, gets it to Wilson. Wilson up the baseline, puts one up. That's going to be an offensive foul. So she knocked over the defender, and good job by Utah State to hit the floor. That's offensive foul called against the Spartans, and that will be the second of the quarter. It's going to go against Wilson, so Wilson picks up her third. A little bit of foul trouble there. Looks like Wilson's staying. No, Wilson checked out for now. Bassett passes it over, left wing three. Rachel Brewster hits it. Beautiful three there for Brewster. Aggies now 2 of 6 from downtown. And that was a big one. Brewster now with 11 points. 52-36, a three the other way missed by Jeanette. Aggies grab the board. Eliza tries to push up quickly and then stolen away by Megan Anderson. Fast hands there, but then stolen back by Duffy, who goes up, is fouled, and will get a couple of shots. Aggies turn it over, and then Shannon Duffy, having the game of her life, swoops in, steals it away, and goes straight up to draw the contact and the foul. 52-36 with a couple of shots coming. Shannon Duffy, I can't stop mentioning this stat line enough. 11 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Already a double-double. Grabs her 12th point. What a phenomenal player she has been for Utah State in her young career. Duffy, kind of your do-it-all kind of player for the Aggies, your Swiss Army knife. There's not a thing that she doesn't do well. And when she's clicking, this team is clicking. Second one good as well. So make that 13, and the Aggies go up 54-36. Largest lead of the game. So Turney passes over to the right wing, gets it to Benally. Benally up top to Ladd. Ladd back over right wing three up. Benally knocks it down. If San Jose State wants to get back in this, they might have to just shoot themselves back into it. And they've made the last couple, so certainly a possibility. Spartans now 6 of 21 from downtown. Here's Bassett, pass over to left wing for Eliza West. Lies up to Brewster, pump fakes for the three, then passes over, gets it to Jensen. Jensen over the right wing for Eliza. Eliza inside the paint, shoots, no good. Rebound fought for. Ladd gonna push it into the front court, try to pass down low, and whistle blows. I think that's going to be just out of bounds on Utah State. Media timeout as we're now under 5 minutes, 4:54 to go here in the second quarter. Aggies leading 54-39, looking for a big win here at home. We'll be back in just a moment with the rest of the third quarter here at the Spectrum. Aggies up 54-39 with 4:54 to go here in the third quarter. Big start to the second half for Utah State. Aggies leading 14-11 here in the third quarter. Aggie ball out of the timeout. Price passes down to Bassett, then back up top out to Eliza West. Eliza over to Bassett. Bassett elbow jumper, good. And a whistle blows. That's going to be contact off the ball. Bucket counts. And it will be Utah State possession. So Aggies go up 56-39 and get possession. So she made the basket, keeps the basket, and Utah State gets possession. Inbound to Haley Bassett, who caught the defense off guard and puts it in from 15 on the baseline. Aggies go up 58-39. Spartans just look defeated right now, not playing with much energy. They have possession, though. Turney passes it over, right wing, three up, rolls in and out, offensive board by Harris, who's then fouled on the way back up by Bassett. So Alexis Harris, the sophomore, going to head to the free throw line. Only a 47% free throw shooter this season, though. San Jose State, really, I mean, you know, you go into the locker room down by 12, and it's tough to come out and play with a ton of energy, but they really have just looked flat here, especially the second half. Pretty poor body language. First shot good from Harris. She's got one more coming. Harris only 4 minutes tonight. She's already gotten her first point, though. One more coming. A couple of rebounds as well for the sophomore. Second one, good, not good. Hits the front of the rim. Bassett chases the board. Aggies up 58-40. Long pass into the front court for Jensen. Jensen dips it back to Price. Price tries to go up. She's blocked. Nice little block there by Harris, who's making an impact. And then a foul on Rachel Brewster in transition. She can't believe it, but official says she got too much contact there. So now 4:02 to go. Aggies up by 18. For Brewster, that's her third foul. And for Utah State, their second. Spartans with 4 already in the quarter, so one away from the bonus situation there. Pass by San Jose State, tipped out of bounds by the Aggies. Will stay Spartan ball, inbound coming from the front court. 22 on the shot clock once they get it in. Inbound goes to Turney. Turney pass over to the right wing, almost stolen away as she passed to Benally. Benally holds on to it. Now over to the left corner, here's a three, no good from Turney. Rebound by Rachel Brewster. Brewster hitting the boards hard tonight, 6 rebounds. Long pass into the front court intended for Jensen, though. Tipped out of bounds. Kind of sloppy passing by both teams throughout this entire game. Spartans have 15 turnovers. Aggies now have 8. One big number to look at for Utah State, 17 assists. That's well above the season average of about 12. Turney caught the defense off guard. She got the ball in the corner, came up with a little fake, almost had it poked away, held on to it, and then lays it up on the left side to put San Jose up to 42 points. 58-42, 3:11 to go. Liza passes it up. Brewster for 3, no good off the back of the rim, and the rebound by Benally. Turney gonna try and drive, puts up a high arcing shot and knocks it down. Got up towards the paint, just launched it. Nothing but net. 14-point game. That's the thing, if you're San Jose State, you know, you got to keep your mind on the fact that Utah State's blown a lot of second half leads. Brewster hits a nice little jumper from 12 on the baseline, and timeout will be called by the Spartans. 60-44 the Aggies lead. We'll keep it here for this one. 2:37 to go in the quarter. So Rachel Brewster now, after that one, 13 points on the night. Brewster now just 6 away from the 1,000-point mark for anyone that cares about that kind of thing. Not sure if it's even on her mind or if she's even aware of it, but pretty big milestone nonetheless for a player that just broke into the top 10 in all-time scorers at Utah State. What a player she's been in her 3-year career. Still plenty of good basketball to come from her in the future, I'm sure. Leading scorers for the Aggies right now, Brewster, I just mentioned it, 13 points and 6 rebounds. A couple of assists as well. Fantastic night there. Shannon Duffsey, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Haley Bassett with 12 points, 3 rebounds and an assist. And Olivia West, 10 points and 3 rebounds. No shortage of just phenomenal numbers there. And then you look even down in the points column, but 4 points for Eliza West, but 6 assists. So you've got 5 players having big time, just major impact on the game here tonight. And that's what Utah State needs in a game like this. For San Jose State, Maishanique Ladd, 11 points and 7 rebounds, 2 assists. What a night she's having, as she is just one away from the 1,000-point mark in her career for the Spartans. She'll most likely hit that here with still a quarter and a half to go. She's the only player in double figures, though, for the Spartans. Danae Marquez with 8, Taylor Turney with 7, and then Anderson with 6. Players head back out to the court. Aggies holding on to a 16-point lead right now, 60-44. I mentioned this number a few minutes ago, but Utah State with 18 assists, just a phenomenal number. On the season, Aggies average 10.9. That's one of the lowest in the nation. Of course, that's partially because of pace of play, but only 10.9 per game, and they've already got 18. San Jose State grabs it on the inbound, blazes the court, pass down low, but missed on the shot. Aggies with the rebound. Brewster jumper from 14, no good, but the offensive board put back up, no good from Duffsey. Grabs her own rebound again, though, and resets it back out to Eliza West. What an effort there by Shannon Duffsey. Brewster on the left wing, pass down low to Duffsey on the baseline. Duffsey back up to Brewster, 12 on the shot clock, up to Eliza West. Eliza gonna drive, try to kick it over to Olivia West. Does, and Olivia West hits the three-pointer and a foul. Olivia West with the big and one. 4-point play opportunity coming. Aggies up 63-44, can make it a 20-point game with this. Olivia West, what a play that was. Knocks it down, 4-point play complete. Olivia now with 14 points and 4 rebounds. She's 5 of 11 from the field. 1:52 to go, 64-44. Biggest lead of the game for Utah State. Maishanique Ladd drives in and knocks it down. Maishanique Ladd now over the 1,000-point plateau in her career. 1,001 points. What a career. Olivia West quickly the other way lays it in to match it, 66-46. And then Maishanique Ladd back the other way, lays it in. We're having a running contest right now. That's 3 buckets in about a span of 10 seconds. 66-48. Now Utah State lead, 1:19 to go. Eliza passes to the free throw line for Duffsey. Duffsey stops, pass back up to Eliza. Eliza up to the elbow, up top to Duffsey. Just inside the three-point line, but she gets it to go. And when one thing's going well, everything's going well. Shannon Duffsey, 15 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Maishanique Ladd gets another lay-in, totally uncontested. Aggies hold on to a 68-50 lead. However, 50 seconds to go here in the quarter. What a wild finish this has been to the quarter. Eliza West, way up high. She's going to slow it down. And Utah State, at this point, probably just wants to bring it back to their pace. She passes down to Bassett. Bassett fouled as she works towards the basket. That's going to be free throws coming, as that puts the Spartans in the bonus. 5th foul of the quarter. And that's going to go against, I'm sorry, I just missed that. I think they're going to say that's going to go against Wilson. So Wilson picks up her 4th. Michaela Wilson, likely going to see the bench for quite a while now, as she's still got a quarter to play with only 1 foul left. So Haley Bassett going to the free throw line for a couple. Utah State has made 3 of their last 3 field goals, as has San Jose State. So the last 6 shots in this game have been made, most of those uncontested layups. Bassett right now, 12 points. She's 5 of 7 from the field. She's also got 3 rebounds and an assist. And first free throw, good. Bassett averaging about 9 points per game, 4 rebounds per game. Just over 60% from the free throw line. Second one good as well. So 70-50, the Aggie lead. 38 seconds to go here in the third. Into the front court, stolen away. Rachel Brewster with the steal. Eliza West with the lay-in. Aggies, another steal, another lay-in. 13 steals tonight for Utah State. Lay-in missed by Lewis, but she grabs her own board long, puts it back up, gets it to go. 10 seconds to go. Utah State brings it across. Here's Eliza Hentz. Looks to hand it back to Brewster. Instead holds on to it. Pass over to the right wing for Olivia. Olivia for three. As time expires, misses the shot. Ladd with the rebound, and that's how the third quarter will end. Action-packed third quarter. Utah State had 32 points in the quarter. That might be a season high. I'm going to look at that. I don't know if they've scored 32 at any point this season. They allowed 24 from San Jose State, so both teams just clicking on all cylinders offensively, and that was a fun one to watch. Aggies will enter the fourth quarter up by 10 with 4 players in double figures. Olivia West with 16, Duffsey with 15, Bassett with 14, and Brewster with 13. Myshanique Ladd on the flip side, 17 points, 7 rebounds, and a couple of assists. We'll be back in just a moment with the fourth quarter of action. Thanks for tuning in to Utah State Hoops here on Aggie Radio at AggieRadio.com. All right, welcome on back to the Spectrum. Utah State, after 3 quarters, leading 72-52 over the San Jose State Spartans. 1 left to go. Aggies holding on to a 20-point lead, though, in this one. I mentioned earlier that there's a couple other big games going on, both of them going quite favorably for the team that needs a win, as Utah State throws away a errant pass early on, and then a quick 3 the other way. Airballed by San Jose State. Rebound by Brewster, who tries to take it back, and then it's stolen back away by Hafoka. And then stolen back away by Brewster. And then Brewster lays it in. Whole bunch of action right there. Back and forth. And it all ends up with Brewster getting a couple points, and then quickly the other way, of course, Sydney Lewis lays it in. No defense, or at least not very good defense on either side. As I was saying, though, Nevada, a team that both these teams really need to lose at this point. Nevada up 31-17 against UNLV. Big lead there against a very good UNLV team. San Diego State up against down against Boise 44-36. So a couple games to keep your eyes on. Aggie ball 74-54. Here's Eliza West. Passes over, gets it over to Brewster. Brewster on the right wing. Cross over to the left. She's going to lay it off the glass and in. San Jose State has no answers down low right now. Aggies with 36 points in the paint to San Jose's 26. Steal by Olivia West. What do you believe? What do you know? Another steal from the Aggies. She just came in, ripped it away from Lewis. Brings it across and slows it down. This is, I imagine, Utah State going to really slow things down here, or I'd certainly recommend it if you're the Aggies. 76-54 they lead. Liza pass up top to Duffsey. Duffsey down low to Bassett. Bassett lays it off the glass and in. Aggies lead by 24. 78-54. 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Right wing, here's Marquez. She's going to get into the paint. Try to pass it over to Hafoka. It's poked out of bounds by Utah State, though. Will stay Spartan ball. Franson coming in. Price coming in. Duffsey checking out. She's put on her fair workload, and Eliza West coming out. Duffsey with 17 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists as she hits the bench. Marquez inbounds, gets it up to Anderson. Anderson tries to get it back to Marquez. Aggies looking for another steal, can't get it this time. Aggies with 14 steals tonight. Working into the paint, Meisenique Lab makes it look easy as she lays it off the glass. And timeout called. I think that's timeout called by San Jose State as the Aggies lead at 78-56. We'll take a quick timeout break as well as the teams do. 7:49 to go and 78-56 Utah leads. And welcome back. Utah State looking for a big-time win here. Their second straight win it would be, and they lead the San Jose State Spartans by 22 points, 78-56, with 7:49 to go in the fourth quarter. Aggies playing some great basketball tonight, and a win here would be only the first time this entire season they've won back-to-back games. They've won a total of 6 this season, and this would be number 7, and the first time they've done it back-to-back. Picked up a win against Air Force here in this building a couple of days ago. Looking to make it 2 in a row. Would be a good time in the season to get high for Utah State with the conference tournament starting on Monday. Aggie ball as we come out of the timeout. Victoria Price in the front court, passes it over. She tries to pass it to Olivia West. It goes out of bounds off of Alexis Harris. Through her hands, they're going to say, though, and somehow off of Utah State. Not sure about that call, but it will be Spartan ball. Right wing 3 up by Anderson, missed, and Brewster grabs the board. Price slows it down for Utah State. Price driving up, goes up to the right, is stuffed down low. Beautiful block by Alexis Harris. She's been a workhorse for San Jose State in the time she's been out on the court. Left wing 3 up, no good from Ladd. And Brewster goes for the board, is fouled as she does so. She hits the ground. That's going to go against Alexis Harris. So San Jose State picks up their first team foul of the quarter. So for Harris, that's number 2 on the night. I'm sorry, that's number 3. She's only played 5 minutes. Having a big-time impact, though. Bryce brings her across. She's double-teamed near midcourt, and then timeout called by Coach Finkbeiner, who was just a couple feet away. Good call. He saw the double team come and wisely elected to call a timeout. So we'll keep it here for this one. 6:59 to go, and the Aggies up 78-56. Let's take a look at a few of the stats that pop out the most when you look at the stat sheet. The number one stat that is so impressive to me for Utah State tonight, 48% from the field, that's great. The more impressive stat to me is 23 assists. Phenomenal night passing the ball for the Aggies. 23 assists for a team that averages 10.5. 14 steals. When you look at it, you've got 3 different players with 3 steals for Utah State. Duffesy with 3, Brewster with 3, Bassett with 3. You've got a handful of players with 2, and they've just been so aggressive all night defensively. Olivia West looking to inbound. She does into the backcourt for Victoria Price. 18 on the shot clock. She passes over to Brewster. Brewster on the left wing tries to pass down low to Bassett. Tip back to Price. Price goes at it. Puts it too much on the lay-in, though, and that's going to go out of bounds on the rebound off of the Spartans. Ball never hit the rim, though, so shot clock remains at 9 on the Aggie inbound. Olivia West tries to get it into Bassett. Put it too far out ahead of her and out of bounds. miscommunication there. Both players look a little frustrated after that, but just got to brush it off. 6:44 to go. Aggies with 4 players with 15+ right now. My Sneak Lad kicks over to the right wing, then up top. Here's a 3. No good from Jeanette. Rebound tipped back by Taylor Franson. Heads up play, but it goes back to Ladd. Ladd lays it in. Ladd with 21 points. She's 9 of 14 from the field. 8 rebounds and a couple of assists as well. Price into the front court. Double team near the corner. See if she can work out of it this time. Passes up to Olivia West. Pass low. Hits her in the knees and out of bounds. Another sloppy play. Another sloppy turnover there for Utah State. I mean, they've got a bit of a padding here. That's turnover number 12 for the Aggies. Here's another big stat for you as you look at it, as you look at the stat sheet. 26 points off of turnovers for Utah State. Spartans have turned it over 18 times, and that's turned into 26 points for the Aggies, whereas the Spartans have 8 points off of turnovers on 13 Aggie turnovers. Price picks up a foul as the Spartans bring it into the front court. Got caught reaching in, so for Price, that is going to be number 1, her first foul of the night. Pass over to the right wing and a 3 from Anderson, who knocks it down. Anderson from 3 grabs her 9th point of the night. Aggies pass into the front court, and then Gear steps into the back, so that's going to be a backcourt violation called. Kind of a weird mental lapse there by the Aggies. A lot of mistakes here the last few minutes for Utah State, but then as I say that, another mistake for the Spartans as a pass to the corner intended for Anderson. Just not where she wanted it, goes out of bounds on the corner, and that's turnover number 19 for San Jose State. Very sloppy from really both teams. 19 turnovers for the Spartans, 14 for the Aggies. I think keeping Utah State afloat, 47% shooting from the field, 33 from downtown, and 93 from the free throw line. Price going one-on-one with Ladd. Kicks over to the corner to Bassett. Bassett back up to Gear. Gear up to Olivia West. 3 on the shot clock. She has to hurry. Gets up to the free throw line. Launches. No good as she falls forward. And the rebound by San Jose State. Marquez came down with it. Marquez tries to go coast to coast. Sloppy lay-in. Missed. Aggies have numbers now in transition. Price stops. Passes up to Eliza. Eliza down low to Duffy, who tries to go up, is stuffed out of bounds by Sydney Lewis. Spartans definitely playing aggressive in the paint, coming up with quite a few blocks. That's number 6 for the Spartans tonight. 20 seconds on the shot clock when Utah State inbounds from the baseline. Looks like a sub coming in for the Spartans. Michaela Wilson comes in for Sydney Lewis. Freshman for freshman. San Jose State, very young team. I mean, you hear it all the time with Utah State, but San Jose State, 7 of the 14 players who have played this season are freshmen. Left wing, here's Eliza over to the corner for 3. Jessie Gear, no good. Offensive rebound by, you guessed it, Shannon Duffy, who lays it back up and in. Shannon Duffy, 17 points, 16 rebounds. 19 points, I'm sorry, 16 rebounds. Right wing for 3. There's Benally, she misses. Rebound chased and kept in bounds by Ladd. Shot never hit the rim, but a 3 from up top goes from Megan Anderson. Right now on the court, you've got Megan Anderson and Danae Marquez for San Jose State. Those two high school teammates at Clovis West at the number 1 high school in the nation at the time they were there. Bassett hits a shot from the 10-foot mark on the baseline. Aggies can't miss right now. 82 points for Utah State. Right wing, here's Benally. Pass up top to Anderson. Over to the left, here's Ladd. Ladd back up. Marquez for 3. Nothing but net. Beautiful shot there. Danae Marquez. 11 points now. 3 of 7 from downtown. 3 rebounds, 3 assists as well for the freshman. Liza tries to pass down to Bassett. Another miscommunication, another sloppy pass. Utah State, I mean, holds on to a massive lead, but that's the 15th turnover of the night for the Aggies. Anderson inbounds to Marquez. 3:30 to go. 82-67, the Aggie lead. Ladd up top, gets it to Anderson. Anderson down low, laying it in. Around the back is Wilson, but she misses. Rebound wrangled in and then tipped back for the Spartans. 3 up top, and this time Anderson hits. Anderson tries to make it a game, back to 12 points. We were well over 20, got up to 24 at one point, but it's back down to 12. 82-70, the Aggie lead after that 3. That's all it really takes is a catch fire from downtown. And you never know what could happen if you're San Jose State. Utah State, the first game of the season, watched a lead very similar to this. A 14-point lead disappear in about 2.5 minutes of play against UC Irvine. So crazier things have happened. We may just have a game here down at the finish. Very high scoring for both teams, 82-70. That's not particularly high scoring for San Jose State, but for Utah State, this is this is very, very well above their average of 57 points per game. Plenty of players on Utah State with beautiful stat lines. I mean, I mentioned it a few minutes ago, but you got 4 players with 15 points or more. Duffsey with 19, Bassett with 18, Olivia with 16, and Brewster with 15. But let's take a step further than that. Shannon Duffsey, can't compliment her enough on her performance tonight. 19 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals and a block. While she's on the court, Utah State is plus 21 in scoring margin. She's played 29 minutes. Could be working on a 20-20 night here. Duffsey, the inbounder, gets it into Eliza. A little bit of full court pressure from the Spartans. 2 players back on Eliza. She passes up to Duffsey and then breaks the press by passing up to Bassett. Bassett back to Eliza. Eliza going to work over to the elbow, then kick it back up to Gear. Gear over to the right wing for Eliza. 14 on the shot clock. Utah State trying to use as much as possible. Under 3 minutes to go. Eliza, instead of using a screen, goes off to the right. Good decision as she gets a clear path and a lay-in. Eliza now with 8 points. 10 assists, though. Working on her first double-double of the season with a couple more points. She'll get it. Right corner, here goes a 3 from Benally. She knocks it down. And San Jose State catching fire from downtown. Benally 6 points now. Lies into the front court, pass over to the right corner for Harris. Harris over to the left, gets it up top to Eliza. Eliza gonna drive, stop at the free throw line, spin around, and wrangled in by Michaela Wilson. That's gonna be a steal, but then thrown back to Utah State possession as she can't keep it in bounds. And Aggies will have it 84-73 the lead, 2:14 to go, and they'll have a fresh shot clock. So Aggies send a couple players into the backcourt for a safety blanket here in case they have a hard time getting it inbounds. Way in the front court, Duffsey inbounds it way into the backcourt for Olivia. Olivia brings it across over to the right wing for Brewster. Brewster over to the left wing for Eliza. Eliza hits Brewster on the elbow, then over to the left corner. Here's a 3. Shannon Duffsey rolls it around, falls off the front. Fight for the ball. Brewster got in to try and rip it away. Jump ball forced, which will go to San Jose State. So Spartan ball, 2 minutes exactly to go, 84-73 the lead. Into the front court, San Jose State nearly loses it. They're able to hold on to it, and then a pass causes a foul from Brewster. They get it down towards the paint. Brewster reaches around and fouls Marquez pretty hard, knocks her to the ground. Just the second team foul for Utah State this quarter, so inbound to come. So Marquez the inbound from the baseline. Marquez gets it in, left side to Anderson. Anderson up towards the wing for Benally. Hands it back to Marquez. Marquez, jumper from 18 feet out, knocks it down. San Jose State shooting really well as of late. 5 of their last 6 field goals. Maybe too little too late, though. 84-75, the Aggie lead. Olivia into the front court for Duffsey. Duffsey back to Olivia. 1:30 to go. Liza over the left wing for Olivia. Back up to Eliza. 12 on the shot clock. Duffy over to Olivia West. Left wing. She's going to prod around, step inside, shoot, and knock it down 17 feet out. Olivia West now 18 points. 7 of 14 from the field. Ladd drives, kicks it. Anderson for 3, and she hits. Spartans can't miss from downtown. They can't miss from anywhere right now. This quarter has treated them very well shooting the ball. This one they're going to be kicking themselves for because they dug themselves into a little bit of a hole. And despite excellent play here as of the last few minutes, it probably is not going to be enough. Aggies up 86-78, 1 minute exactly on the clock, and a timeout called. It's a quick one, 30-second timeout. Both teams shooting nearly identical. Utah State 47%, San Jose State 46%. The difference, though, is the Aggies have taken 74 shots and made 35. Spartans have taken 67 and made 31. Spartans a little better from downtown, 12 of 34, while Utah State 3 of 11. So they've taken 3 times as many, but made a higher percentage. 20 turnovers for San Jose State, 16 for the Aggies. Utah State inbounds to Olivia West. Full court pressure from the Spartans, but Olivia brings it across midcourt, slows it down by passing back to Eliza. Eliza chased by a double team, passes up to Brewster. Brewster on the left wing. Back over to Eliza. Utah State doing a good job passing out of double team situations. She passes back to Bassett. Bassett trapped, stops, and calls a timeout, wisely so. 8 seconds is what's on the shot clock, 37.9 on the game clock, so they'll have the ball out of the timeout. And an 8-point lead for San Jose State. 21 points for Ladd, 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Monster night, going to be overshadowed by a likely loss. Anderson with 18 points, big night for her as well. Marquez with 13, 3 rebounds and 4 assists. Again, they've really started to light it up as of late. This quarter, San Jose State has actually outscored the Aggies 26-14. It's not very often. That's going to happen in the fourth quarter, and then you're still trailing by as much as they are. 8-point lead for the Aggies. Liza drives in, passes it into to Bassett. Bassett lays it in. No good. Rebound by San Jose State. So Spartan ball, 25 seconds to go, down by 8. 3 up from the left wing, missed. Hofoka hits the front of the rim. Eliza with the rebound. Eliza going to push it into the front court. Pass over to Duffy. Duffy almost has it stolen away. And that will do it. 10 seconds left on the clock. San Jose State going to let this one wind down. Aggies going to come up with their second straight victory. The first time this season they've picked up back-to-back wins. And this is a big one. Ladd launches a 3 at the buzzer after a steal. It'll be technically credited as a steal. But Aggies win it 86-78 over San Jose State. They split the season series, which will result in a little bit of could result in a tiebreaker situation later on down the road. This time of the year things get really fun. Things heat up a lot as far as the race goes entering conference tournament play. So Aggies improve on that to 5-12 in Mountain West play, 7-21 on the season. 5-12 puts them ahead of San Jose State in the standings, so they currently sit at 9th in the standings. And then 2 games pending right now, both teams ahead of them, but just by half a game, so they could potentially climb up a couple more spots tonight. We now have Utah State head coach Jerry Finkbeiner coming over to join us. Coach, what a game. I mean, 86-78. Did you know that this team had an 86-point game in them? And, I mean, just talk about all the individual performances you saw.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Jaden, this is the style of play we want to play. And we came out early in the year, first 2 games, trying to do this. But it's taken a long time. We spent 3 weeks in practice, kind of sandbagging a little bit, trying to get things where we can have some confidence to do something like this during the game. But, yes, to answer the question, yes, we do have it in us. San Jose State, this is their game, so it kind of makes it even better because we played their game up tempo, run and shoot, and the score we ended up winning by 8, 10, something like that, but it was definitely not in doubt, and we probably done some things differently if it was closer at the stretch, but really happy with a lot of our girls' play. I can't even name them all, but we had some really good stat lines tonight.
Well, I'll tell you one right away. Shannon Duffy, 19 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. That's a good stat line.
I mean, just talk about Shannon's performance.
Well, and to start off, how slow she started off, because she didn't. Her first quarter was not real good statistically, but when she came out in the middle of the fourth quarter, I said, Shannon, this is about as good as you can play right now. Yeah, her parents are here from Australia. It's nice to have them here. I think Haley Bassett did a really good job. Quality minutes, minutes played. Even that last little play we ran is designed for Haley. She missed a little rabbit, a little gimme, a little bunny there. But, 4 girls in double figures.
4 girls with more than 15.
Rachel Brewster's now starting to look like Rachel Brewster. And she's got to be walking away tonight with some confidence. So it's just a good game for the Aggies. I think it's our first 2-game win streak of the year. But we're headed down to Las Vegas, and you can tell we got gas in our tanks. And it's a group that's think they can win. And I think we turned a little bit of corner about 2 weeks ago in practice by going a little more up-tempo and kind of selling this defense. And we'll just see where this takes us.
I was just going to bring that up. Back-to-back wins for the first time this season. How big is it to have that right at this point?
It's really big because we're going into Team UNLV is tied for number 1 in the conference going in regular season. And, we're just going to let everything kind of hang out and just throw caution to the wind. And tonight's theme was energy, bring energy, and our game plan to take care of itself. And so that paid dividends.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, Jaden.
Congrats on a big win.
Thank you.
We've now got Utah State sophomore guard Shannon Duffy joining us here on the program. Shannon, I don't know if you just saw your stat line, but wow, 19 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block.
Yeah.
Obviously that's not the most important thing. The win is the most important thing, but just talk about the game as a whole for yourself tonight.
Yeah, of course. The win is obviously the most important thing, and it doesn't really matter how I play in the end as long as we get the win. But I'd say this was probably, I came out confident today, and especially after that really close win against Air Force, I had a lot more confidence today, and I think it really showed on the court, even though my shooting wasn't the best, but I guess overall I did better than usual. So.
Well, Shannon, I just talked to Coach about this. The first back-to-back wins of the season, and it seems like the team has really clicked here the last couple of games. How big is it that happens at this point in the season, and what's really changed for this team the last couple of games?
Yeah, we've been speaking about this a lot lately, and especially since the start of the season, since we didn't start off very well, and Coach has always had faith in us and said that he's always had confidence that we're going to come through in the end, and we've got as good a chance as anyone else in the whole conference. So I think we're coming through at the right time, and hopefully this can carry over to the conference tournament.
Well, Coach said your parents are here to watch it, so maybe that's your lucky charm.
Yeah, he said that last time as well at practice. One day I was shooting okay, and Coach said that they're going to have to stay here for the rest of the season.
Well,
so
hopefully they're coming down to Vegas with us.
Yeah, they're coming with us.
All right. Hey, thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
Congrats on a great win.
Thank you.
So it's Utah State sophomore guard / forward, I should say. Guard / forward. She can play it all. Shannon Duffy, again, 19 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. And Utah State comes out with an 86-78 win. We're going to cut out here on the Mountain West Network. If you want more post-game, we're going to be back at it here on Aggie Radio and AggieRadio.com. Head to AggieRadio.com, click on the little YouTube player on the front page, and we'll have more post-game analysis coming up in just a moment. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jaden Johnson here on the call. Back in just a moment. All right, welcome on back to our post-game show here. Utah State picks up a big win, 86-78 over the Spartans of San Jose State. Aggies pick up back-to-back wins for the first time this season, and you couldn't ask for a much better time to do it. The bad news for Utah State is there's a couple other games that they've been keeping a close eye on, or at least that I've been keeping a close eye on, and that I'm sure many of the fans of this team have been keeping a close eye on, and that's the couple of teams ahead of them in Nevada and San Diego State. Potentially Utah State could climb 3 spots. However, that's not looking likely as Nevada is up 57-31 over UNLV. That's a crazy score there. I mean, it's at Nevada, but UNLV, a team that's been red hot, absolutely fire for the last little while. The Wolfpack led 47-21 at halftime. And there's only 4 minutes left. So that one's over. Nevada's going to pick up a win against a very good UNLV team who's currently sitting at the top spot in the conference. So, I mean, they're playing for something, too, because they're tied for number 1. The good news for Utah State is their next game is UNLV. So maybe they're catching UNLV at a tough time in the season. If they can only score 21 points in a half against Nevada, that might be a good sign for Utah State in the upcoming game this Friday. Of course, Utah State has struggled mightily on the road all season long. I'm going to try and get the score from this Boise State. I'm sorry, from this Boise State San Diego State game pulled up. But as I do so, let's look at teams that potentially Utah State could play. I mean, can't read too much into it because there's still a wide variety of options. But Utah State now sits in the 9th spot, which, if the season ended right this second, would put them against San Diego State. So that's a possibility. Nevada, that's a real possibility. Air Force in New Mexico, probably out of the realm of possibility. You're probably looking at either San Jose again, not very likely, but in all likelihood, either San Diego State or Nevada will be the first-round team that Utah State faces. But we'll see. So the final in the San Diego State game, they do fall to Boise State 64-53. Pretty close one there at the Taco Bell Arena up in Boise. So that puts now Utah State and San Diego State tied at 8th. So because of that, Utah State moves from 9th to a tie for 8th. So again, you just see how tight the conference is right now. A win on Friday against UNLV would do just absolute wonders. That would put them very, very likely into 7th. Anyway, enough of that. Let's focus on this game tonight. It was good to hear from Shannon Duffasey. Good to hear from Coach Jerry Finkbeiner. Both had very good comments, interesting things to say following the win. The final score really doesn't do it justice. It's 86-78. You heard Coach Finkbeiner say that they kind of let it slip away. They probably would have played differently if the lead was different. This is a team, Utah State led start to finish in this one. They really just dominated the whole way through. And going into halftime, the Aggies led by 12. We've seen so many times this season they lead by 12, lead by 14, lead by 10, lead by 8 at halftime, and then come out of the half just absolutely flat, looking already defeated for whatever reason, even with the lead, and slowly let it slip away, end up losing. I mean, against Boise State, they led big time at half. I think that was an 8-10 lead, and they ended up losing by 9. So, It was a refreshing change of pace for Utah State fans, I'm sure, and just a big-time difference here in this one. The fact that they were able to come out in the second half and come out, put the foot on the pedal, really, and just dominate. Second half, they were outscored slightly, but it was enough. So, again, Utah State moving up to now 7-21 on the season, 5-12, but getting hot at the right time. Again, I just can't even emphasize how big a win at UNLV would be this coming Friday, but we'll have that action Friday night. That's going to be 7 o'clock p.m. I believe that's local time. I'm going to have to double check on that. 7 o'clock p.m. local time, so it'll be 6 o'clock in Vegas that they'll start. And then the first round of the tournament, which Utah State is guaranteed they will for sure be playing on the first day. That will be Monday. Time to be determined on which game they play. We'll know more shortly, though, about that. Friday night, everything will be sorted out Final stats from tonight's game. Aggies shot 47% on 35 of 75 from the field. San Jose State 46%, 31 of 68 from the field. Utah State only shot 11 three-pointers, made 3 of them. Spartans shot 35 and made 12. That was a big part of them crawling back into it. They really started to hit there in the second half. Aggies 13 of 14 from the free throw line. Spartans 4 of 6. 20 turnovers for San Jose State, 16 for Utah State. That was a big part of it. Aggies scored 26 off of turnovers. Aggies out-rebounded the Spartans 44-35. Points in the paint. Utah State really on the paint, 42-30 in points in the paint. And the two biggest numbers, I've circled them throughout the entire game. 24 assists for a team that averages just over 10 per game. And they come up with 24 in this. 14 steals. And both of those just huge numbers. Aggies led for 38 minutes and 23 seconds of the game. Spartans for 19 seconds. Final stat lines. I've read it as many times as I'm going to read it one more time. Shannon Dufsey, 19 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. And then, plenty of other players with some phenomenal numbers. Olivia West, 18 points, 4 rebounds, and then a couple of steals as well for Olivia. Rachel Brewster, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Haley Bassett, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. And then Eliza West, 8 points, 10 assists. So just a bucket away from a double-double. Really wish you could have gotten that. But 8 points, 10 assists, and a steal for Eliza and a rebound. Other players with points. Deja Mason had a couple, along with 3 assists and a block. And then Victoria Price with 3, Emmy Harris with 3. That does it for Utah State stats. San Jose State, Maishanique Ladd, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Huge numbers there for Maishanique Ladd. She played 36 minutes. Anderson, 18 points, a couple of assists. Marquez, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. And then other players with some points. Turney with 7, Lewis with 6, Benally with 6, Wilson with 4, Hafoka with 2, and Harris with 1. We're going to close things out. Thanks for tuning in to Utah State basketball here on Aggie Radio. We're going to have the Utah State men's basketball game from San Jose tomorrow evening. That one should be another fun game. You can catch that here on Aggie Radio and AggieRadio.com. Scotty G on the call out in San Jose as Utah State men look to close out the season as well. One more game left for the women Friday night, 7 o'clock p.m. We'll have that here on Aggie Radio and AggieRadio.com as always. I'm Jaden Johnson on the call. Utah State picks up an 86-78 win here against San Jose State. Be back at it. We'll see you Friday. Have a good night. Go Aggies.